All right, Charles, many thanks for the update. Charles Stratford there in Kiev. Well, we're now joined by Yuriy Sak, who is an advisor to the Minister of Strategic Industries of Ukraine. He joins us also from Kiev. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Sak. So, firstly, I probably heard the discussion there with our correspondent in Kiev about this prisoner exchange and the return of the bodies of soldiers. No lists, we understand, have been exchanged. No location has been announced. Should we be worried about this? Is an exchange going to be taking place?
Good morning. Well, most of the times when prisoner exchange happens, of course, the details are kept for a variety of reasons confidential. So the fact that they have not been released yet should not be seen as a sign that the prisoner exchange that was agreed to in Istanbul will not happen. But again, we'll have to wait and see, because these are very sensitive issues. This involves the families of all those prisoners who are kept captive. And of course, we have to be very patient.
Now, I assume that some of the Ukrainian soldiers to be returned to Ukraine, some of them will have been quite badly injured. But is it Ukraine's intention to send any of these soldiers back to the fight against Russia as soon as possible?
Well, look, we have a very civilized system whereby, the condition of each wounded soldier is assessed, and if necessary, they're sent to rehabilitation. And of course, only those who are fully fit are sent back to the front lines. This is unlike the Russians, because we have seen that Russians are using, even the amputees on the front lines. So as far as Ukraine is concerned, we have a solid, rigid system in place where only capable, fully bodied men are going back. Of course, we have some cases, and I've actually personally seen these guys, they're still in the hospital, and they say that the moment the doctors let me go, I will be back with my boys on the front lines fighting. And these are guys sometimes with both legs amputated. But again, these are random cases where just people have their own volition to do that.
We've seen two significant days of attacks from Russia on Kiev and last night in Kharkiv as well. Russia had always warned of retribution for Ukraine's audacious attack on Russian airfields and the destruction of many Russian bombers. We saw, as I mentioned, multiple attacks, multiple attempts to hit back on Ukraine. I assume Ukraine knew this would happen, but how does it prepare for what is potentially to come from Moscow?
Well, I would like to correct you, because we have seen not 2 days of attacks, we have seen more than 3 years of attack. And just from the beginning of 2025, Russia has launched more than 12,000 Shahed drones on Ukraine. They have launched more than 700 ballistic and cruise missiles. So what happened the last couple of days, of course, it stands out because Russia is actually intensifying. They're increasing the number of firepower that they're using during such attacks.
I asked that question mainly because the Russian leadership deliberately made a call to President Trump in the United States to say, look, we are going to do something. We are going to hit back hard in response to this operation carried out successfully by Ukraine. Clearly, the war has gone on for a significant amount of time. A lot of Ukrainian lives have been lost. But I wonder whether the Ukrainian leadership is bracing for potentially a military game changer or a huge show of force from Russia.
Following the unique and unprecedented attack, a series of attacks by the Ukrainian special forces, which has taken out and destroyed 1/3 of Russia's nuclear triad, Russian leadership is in panic, Russian people are in panic, everybody's in panic, and so they should be, because we are fighting an asymmetric warfare. We are deploying very smart ways of fighting this modern warfare. And, Russia is a terrorist state, a deranged terrorist state. So, of course, we are every day preparing for more retaliation, for more strikes, and they're happening every night. The night before the air bases were hit by the Ukrainian drones deep inside Russia, the night before that happened, Russians launched almost 500 drones on Ukrainian cities. So it's very difficult, in these dynamics. it's just getting worse. So that's why we are hoping for sanctions from the US to be approved, hopefully as soon as possible, because that is the only way now that Russia can be somehow restrained and forced to negotiate in goodwill about peace.
Russia accuses Ukraine of being on the back foot, of being desperate right now. I mean, we've seen, as you say, an extraordinary amount of resourcefulness from Ukraine. It's literally writing the rules when it comes to drone warfare, but it's still sending conscription squads to drag men off the street to join the fight. This cannot be good for morale in Ukraine, surely?
3 years and a half into the war, we are still resilient. Of course, there are some very few cases where, those people, because look, military service in Ukraine is obligatory. Systems have been put in place which are transparent, which allow, for example, people who are being recruited, allow them a choice, where they want to go, which part of the armed forces they want to be in. And of course, what Russian propaganda does is they take couple of single cases where people refuse to perform their military duty and they have to be detained. Like, when people break the law, they have to be detained by the police. So it's normal, right? We are a country at war, fighting for our survival. So some certain single cases are there. But overall, Ukrainian mobilization is going as planned. And mind you, from the beginning of this year, we have destroyed more than 200,000 Russian soldiers, and we are inflicting even more losses as we speak. So I think Russia, on the one hand, is a bigger country. They have more manpower. They have no regard for human life. But we, again, in mobilization, we're also trying to be smart, and we're trying to use our people according to their skills and according to their wishes.
All right, Yuriy Sak, advisor to the Minister of Strategic Industries of Ukraine. A pleasure to have you on Al Jazeera. Many thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.